Gloomy house, broken windows, and a lot of shards on the floor, abandoned old rooms. Mouldering furniture and burnt paper from the fire, a lot of beer cans and other debris. Typical scene for any forsaken house. I was here alone in the midnight, with a backpack in my bag, with a small supply of food and water, extra clothes, and a sleeping bag. It happened that I had a quarrel with my parents and left home, hoping that any one of my friends would let me spend the night with them. But I was wrong. Fortunately, I packed my rucksack for this occasion. Shining a flashlight and wandering about in the darkness of an abandoned building, I came across rats many times and had a rather unpleasant smell. Every rustle outside the window frightened me. Every creak of rotten furniture made me tremble with fear. I wandered around the building looking for a suitable room to sleep in that wouldn't be so scary. I went walking an hour, then another, and I lost all hope of finding a quiet room, but my anxiety increased. I couldn't stop thinking that someone was watching me. The constant rustling behind me, someone's breathing, and the constant fear that I wasn't alone made me wander around this building. I wanted to go home, but then what would my parents say? They'll laugh, won't they? No, I don't care who it is. I don't care what it is. I'm not leaving here. A sharp rustle behind me made me turn and shine the flashlight up into the darkness. I didn't see anyone. My courage and determination vanished into the air. All I could do was ask a quiet question. Who's here? There was no answer. And with a trembling hand, I began to move the flashlight along the corridor in the hope that it was just a rat. I stared at the corridor for a long time, as if mesmerized and lunatic. Then my flashlight sat down, and there was only darkness ahead. I shuddered with fear, afraid to close my eyes, looked into the darkness, peered, and watched. And then I saw someone's silhouette. I think he was smiling, and something glinted in his hands like a knife. Driven by fear, I turned around and without thinking, jumped out of the window. Fortunately, it was the second floor, and I landed in the bushes, having previously managed to put my backpack under me. Escaped only with a couple of cuts and bruises, I got up and started to run away from this abandoned building. Having reached a park where a janitor already worked, and having looked at the phone, I saw that it was already 6 a.m., although I thought an eternity had passed. Having sat on one of the benches, I tried to calm down and take a breath. An hour later, I went home. I knocked on the door and it opened. My mother was furious, but at the same time was glad that I was back. And then she took me to the living room, where she introduced me to our distant relative. Black hair, green eyes, a slender figure, and a pretty face instantly calmed me. But I was haunted by just one thing, namely her words. "Hi, nice to see you again.